Hello, check. So guys, good day to all. Pasensya na kasi ngayon lang ulit ako nakapag-vlog. What we'll be discussing today is, or what will be discussed today is all about cells. So, may mga tanong tayo sa sarili natin. Siyempre, where do cells come from? Okay, so sometimes you accidentally bite your lip or skin your knee, but in matter of days, the wound heals. Is it magic, or is there another explanation? Okay, let's see. So every day, every hour, every second, one of the most important events in life is going on in your body. So cells are dividing. So cells are dividing. When cells divide, they make new cells. A single cells divide to make two cells, and these two cells then divide to make four cells, and so on. We call this process as cell division. So it means it replicates. So the process of division and cell reproduction. Okay, so because new cells are formed when old cells divide, this is the ability of the cells to divide is unique for all living organisms. So why do cells divide? That's the question. So why do cells divide? So let us see. Okay, so cells divide for many reasons. For example, when your skin your knee, cell divides to replace old, dead, and damaged cells. So cells also divide so living things can grow. Okay, so when organisms grow, it isn't because cells are getting larger. Organisms grow because cells are dividing to produce more and more cells. In human bodies, nearly 2 trillion cells divide every day. So let us move. So another question is how many cells are in your body? So you and I began as a single cell. So we began as a single cell, or what you would call an egg. So by the time you are an adult, you will have trillions of cells. So where's my cursor? So when we are adult, we'll have trillions of cells. Okay, so that number depends on the size of the person, but biologists put that number around 37 trillion cells. So this is around 37 trillions. So okay, let us move. So now is how do cells know when to divide? Let us answer this question. Okay, so how do cells know when to divide? In cell division, the cell that is dividing is called parent cell. Okay, so parent. So the parent cell divides into two. So divide into two. So it divides into two daughter cells. And another daughter here. Okay. Daughter cells. It will have two daughter cells. So the process then repeats in what is called the cell cycle. Okay. So cell regulates their division by communicating with each other using chemical signals from special proteins called cyclins. So cyclins. These signals. So these signals act like switches to tell cells when to start dividing and later when to stop dividing. So it is important for cells to divide so you can grow and so your cuts heal. So it is also important for cells to stop dividing at the right time. So if a cell cannot stop dividing when it is supposed to stop, then this can lead to a disease called cancer. Okay, so let us move. So some cells like skin cells. Skin cells. So some cells like skin cells are constantly dividing. So we need to continuously make new skins or skin cells to replace the skin cells we lose. So did you know we lose 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells every minute? So that means we lose 50 million cells. Let me just write this. So we're losing 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells every minute. Okay, so we lose. So that means we lose 50 million. That is equivalent for 50 million. Excuse me. Cells every day. So this is a lot of skin cells to replace. Making cell division in skin cells is so important. So other cells like nerve and brain cells divide much less often. Okay, so let's move now to the next. So another question is how cells divide? Let us add S here. Okay, so let's proceed. Depending on the type of the cells or cell, there are two ways cell divide. So mitosis, the first division, let's say first type of division, and the other one is meiosis. Okay, so each of these methods of cell division has a special characteristics. So one of the key differences in mitosis is a single cell or single cell divides into two cells. So in mitosis, let us write this. Mitosis is a single cell divides into two cells. Okay, so two cells. Okay, so mitosis in a single cell divides into two cells that are replicas. So exact copy, replicas. Okay, so replicas of each other and have the same number of chromosomes. So meaning exact copy of the cell. So this type of cell division is good for basic growth, repair, and maintenance. So while in meiosis, cell divides into four cells. So that have half the number of chromosomes. So half the number of chromosomes. Reducing the number of chromosomes by half. Okay, let us write that. 4 cells. So half. Ito. Reducing the number of chromosomes by half. It is important for sexual reproduction. So meiosis is also for sexual reproduction and provides genetic diversity. So let us add this diversity. Oh wow. Okay, so let us move. Okay. Okay, so let us have the first one, mitosis. What the? Cell division. Okay, so mitosis is how somatic. Somatic or non-reproductive cell. Let us write it again. Non-reproductive cell. Okay, so divide. Okay, so somatic cells make up the most of your body's tissues and organs, including skin, muscles, lungs, gut, and hair cells. So reproductive cells like egg cells are not somatic cells. So reproductive or somatic. Okay. Let us move. In mitosis, the important thing to remember is that the daughter cells each have the same chromosome. So let us write as daughter cell. Okay, let us move. So the daughter cells from mitosis are called diploid. So diploid. Okay, so diploid cells. Diploid cells have two complete sets of chromosomes. Since the daughter cells have exact copies of their parent cell's DNA, no genetic diversity is created through mitosis in normal healthy cells. Okay, so did you get it? Let us draw. Let us draw so how can I draw a circle? Wait. Okay, let us draw DNA here. Okay, so DNA replicates. Next drawing. So let us draw lines here. Okay. Okay, so this is what the so this is what we call mitosis. This is the actual cell division or division of cells. So mitosis, cell division, creates two genetically identical daughter cells, which is daughter diploid cells. Here, two diploid cells right here. Okay, so diploid cells. The major steps of mitosis are shown here. So this is how cell divides. Okay, so let us move. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, so mitosis cell cycle. So the mitosis cell cycle, before a cell starts dividing, it is in the interphase. So let us write interphase here. So it seems that cells must be constantly dividing. So remember that there are 2 trillion cells dividing in your body every day. So but each cell actually spends most of its time in interphase. Okay, so the interphase is a period when a cell is getting ready to divide and start the cell cycle. So during this time, cells are gathering nutrients and energy. So the parent cell is also making a copy of its DNA to share equally between two daughter cells. So the mitosis division process has several steps or phases of the cell cycle. So we can call these steps or phases. So the first, this is the interphase. Okay, the next after interphase is prophase, or the stages of mitosis. So this is the steps or phases or phase, and the cell division. Or what we call the mitosis. Okay, so mitosis has 4 stages. So let's have the first one, prophase. Next, Metaphase, Amphase. After Metaphase, Amphase after Metaphase we have Metaphase. Next is Anaphase. Next is telophase. And cytokinesis. So to successfully make a new diploid cells, okay, so let us move. Let us just write the processes, what's going on in each stages of mitosis. So in prophase, so what's going on in this prophase? So let us draw first. Let's see this is the cell. Okay, so this is a nucleus, let's say, and we have DNA here. Okay. Okay, so we have lines here. Okay, so what's going on in this prophase? So let's have first chromosomes. Let us write here. So chromosomes condense and become visible. So chromosomes. Next is spindle fibers. So spindle fibers emerge from centrosome. Next, so nuclear envelopes break down. Next is centrosome move toward opposite poles. Centrosome or centrioles are the same. So centrosome move forward, opposite poles. Okay. Next, let us move to the next stage, which is the Metaphase. Let's say it enlarges. Okay. So centrioles moved from different poles. Okay. extending its microtubules or fibers. Okay. Okay, I'm just drawing some organelles. Okay, here. So these are chromosomes. Okay, so what's going on in this prometaphase? Chromosomes continue to condense. Next, kinetochores appear at the centromere. So it will be zooming this here. There are kinetochores here at the sides, which serve as their connection of the fibers. And there is also protein here at the center of the chromosomes. Okay, so let us now move here. So the kinetochores are here at the different site. Okay, so every chromosomes has its kinetochores for them to connect with fibers. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so kinetochores appear at the centromere. Next is mitotic spindle fibers. Spindle fibers, microtubules attached to the kinetochores. Okay, so next we're done with the prometaphase. So metaphase. Let's have metaphase. After prometaphase, we have the metaphase. So the metaphase here, let's draw it. So centrioles are here at different, let's say, different poles where it extends a microtubule. Okay. Okay, so extend these lines. Okay, so in prometaphase, chromosomes are lined up at the metaphase plate. Okay, so next is each sister chromatid is attached to a spindle fiber originating from opposite poles. Let us write that first. So each sister chromatid Okay, so each sister chromatid is attached to a spindle fiber originating from opposite poles. That is what's going on to the metaphase. Let us have the next stage, which is the anaphase. So in anaphase, let us draw first the image. Okay, so in anaphase, centromere is split into two. Okay. So sister chromatid. Where is the sister chromatid? So in chromosomes or chromosome, this is what we call the sister chromatid of a chromosome. So this is sister chromatid. Okay, so let us move. So sister chromatid, now called chromosomes, are pulled toward opposite poles. So next, after this, is certain spindle fibers begin to elongate the cell. Certain Okay, let us move now to the next one, the telophase. Okay, so what's going on in the telophase? So in telophase, chromosomes arrive at the opposite poles and begin to decondense. So chromosomes. Next, after that, nuclear envelope. So nuclear envelope material surrounds each set of chromosomes. Okay, next is the mitotic spindle fiber or spindle breaks down. Okay, so spindle fibers continue to push poles apart. That is for the telophase. Okay, so the last is for the mitotic mitosis is the cytokinesis. Okay, so let us dictate what is happening in cytokinesis. So animal cells, a cleavage furrow separates the daughter cells, and plant cells, for plant cells, cell plate, the precursor to a new cell wall, separates the daughter cells. So that is what happens to these different how can I say this, type of cell division on animals or animal or plant cell. For animal cell, let us write this. Okay, so let us move. So that ends the mitosis. Okay, so the mitosis cell cycle includes several phases that result in two new diploid daughter cells. So each phase is heightened or highlighted here and shown. So when a cell divides during mitosis, some organelles are divided between two daughter cells. So for example, mitochondria are capable of growing and dividing during interphase. So the daughter cells each have enough mitochondria. The Golgi apparatus, however, breaks down before mitosis and reassembles in each new daughter cells. Many of the specifics about what happens to organelles before, during, and after cell divisions are currently being researched. Okay, so let us move now to the next. Okay, so next is meiosis, cell division. So meiosis in other main way cells divide. So meiosis is cell division that creates sex cells. Let us jot down that. What the? Creates what? So it creates sex cells like female egg cells or male sperm cells. Okay, so what is important to remember about meiosis? Okay, so in meiosis, each new cell contains a unique set of genetic information. After meiosis, the sperm and egg cells can join and to create a new organism. Okay, so let us write the info. So meiosis is why we have genetic diversity. So genetic diversity in all sexually reproducing organisms. So during meiosis, a small portion of each chromosome breaks off and reattach to another chromosome. Okay, so this process is called crossing over, so or genetic recombination. Genetic recombination is the reason full siblings made from egg and sperm cells from two parents can look very differently from one another. So let us draw for us to understand more. What the? Next, meiosis 1. Wait, malagos ko mo. Let us okay, so let us color this. Let's pink pocket. Okay. Okay. Pagod ako dun ah. So, daughter cells. So meiosis 1. This is meiosis. And this is meiosis 2. Okay, because this is how it looks like in meiosis. So what does it mean about homologous chromosomes? So let us see. Homologous. So this is a pair of chromosomes in diploid cells. Okay, that contains similar genes at corresponding loci or loci. What the? Throughout their length. Okay, so let us explain more about meiosis cycle. So let's write. So meiosis has two cycles of cell division, conveniently called meiosis 1 and 2. So meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So meiosis 1 has the number of chromosomes is also crossing over happens. Okay, so let's write that. Halves the number. So meiosis 2 has the amount of genetic information in each chromosome of each cell. 4-2. So, okay, so the end result is 4 daughter cells called haploid cells. Called haploid. So haploid cells only have one set of chromosomes, half the number of chromosomes as parent cells. So before meiosis 1 starts, the cell goes through interphase, just like in mitosis. So the parent cell uses this time to prepare for cell division by gathering nutrients and energy, making a copy of its DNA. So during next stages of meiosis, this DNA will be switched around during genetic recombination and divided between 4 haploids. So just remember. So remember, mitosis is what help us grow, and meiosis is why we are all unique. Let us just write that. Remember. So in mitosis is what? So that's it, guys. I hope the lesson helps you understanding the cell division. That's it for today. We'll be continuing to discuss the next topic on the next day or after some time. Thank you.